I feel like I'm in the middle of nowhere. Can't hear a soul, can't see a soul. My goal is to reach the Mesquite sand dunes from a different direction than the parking lot. Thus trying to avoid, the average tourist or individual who's just going to, rightfully so, check them out. But as a photographer, what I'm trying to find are undisturbed dunes. So, as the majority of people, including myself, the very first day left from the parking lot, trying to find, something a little less disturbed. So, going this way. And as well, one advantage I think will be is to get to the back dunes. I will not have to hike through many dunes. So at least that's the plan. That's the hope. And I will say this is very soft soil, so this will be somewhat slow going, but I got time. I have time. Now, when you're going to a place like the Mesquite Dunes, now thankfully it's winter. Somebody from Canada where it's probably minus 20 degrees Celsius right now, this doesn't feel like winter. But for Death Valley it is. So even though it's winter, I do have plenty of water with me. The other thing is I brought again hiking poles to help go up the dunes. And I do have my down jacket in case it really cools off at night. So anyways, I'm gonna keep trucking here and work our way towards the dunes and see what's there in terms of good compositions or good elements to start working with. It's just after 2 o'clock. It is about 3 hours until sunset. But what I'm here for, one, is to scout early, get a lay of the land, try to find good compositions so I'm not rushing. Now the beauty is I am away from everybody else. Now another photographer or two might join me from this location, but right now I have the ability to scout, find various things. So what I did is I hiked up to top of a dune. It isn't the prettiest. It's got a lot of junk and stuff on it, so it wasn't one that I was anticipating to photograph. But what I wanted to do was get up high, see what I could see from this vantage point, and figure out, okay, am I in the right area? Is there something over this dune? Which in this case, not quite. I am going to hike to that bramble of a dune because over yonder, yes, yonder, there looks to be some nice good dunes that'll get some nice shadows and whatnot. And potentially I could hike up to that one over there because the same thing, I got there, over there, there's some nice dunes as well. So what's nice is I'm in an area that is basically free of the average tourist. I can come here and I can ideally find compositions that work. So actually one of the things I want to explain too is from this vantage point I had my 17-40 on my camera body, so I pulled it out, had a look, nothing was working from here. Then I put on my 7200. There was a couple compositions that could work, but I figured I want to get closer to give me more options. So basically, I'm not camped here. I did some initial scouting and determination as to whether or not this spot would work. Not exactly, so I'm going to move on. So let's move on now. All right, so I decided not to hike up over that one dune. Instead, I decided to walk around it, which I think is a good choice because I think what I'm going to have to eventually do is work my way around, uh, kind of following the sun in the sense that I want to make sure I'm finding dunes where I can see the shadows being cast by the sun, and obviously where the sun isn't shining. So that will be part of the objective, is to move depending on where the sun is, because it's about 2:30, sunsets at 5, so I've got a while to be here. Now, one of the things I really want to point out is, obviously I've made a few decisions. I am wearing a long sleeve shirt to kind of protect my arms. I've got a trusty hat here, sunglasses as well, though I have lots of water, more than enough to keep me hydrated today. Now I think it's probably about 25 Celsius, but obviously, you know, we're in the sand dunes here in the desert, so, you know, temperatures feel different. Now, but the other thing I did do is I sought out some shade. Now, the shade will move as the sun moves, but right now, since I've got plenty of time before the sun sets, to where I'm really going to be after those photos, I am trying to keep myself out of the sun. Now, although that's a bit of a lie, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to wander a bit. I got my long lens on here. Don't need my tripod at this time of day with the amount of light we're getting, so that's not an issue, but I do have it for later on as the sun begins to dip. So I found a couple compositions, so I'm going to go wander around, take some photos, and then I'm going to come back here. So when I originally came out here, I saw this valley of sand dunes and with some great light and shadow. And as I started working my way over here, I began to notice footprints. So some of the shots I was envisaging are now gone. So now these are mostly untouched. Don't get me wrong. These are mostly untouched. I have the ability to work around it, but I'm also going to have to somewhat follow whoever's footsteps these are, to kind of, I don't want to make new ones in the sense that other shots are ruined, or the fact that some shots I'd like to take would be shooting onto those footprints. So I'm going to kind of follow those more or less. Okay, so this may not translate too well in this video, but I entered the first day way over there. Here, let me try to point it again. All the way over there. This parking lot. I remember looking at, I believe, that big high dune over there. Like, okay, that's probably where she goes. No. It is big, it is expansive, and it's beautiful. So, right now, I can't see anyone else. You might be able to tell, like, there's like looks like some cars or some lights over there, but anyways, that's the parking lot. Pretty much top center. Nobody from that parking lot is hiking out this far. So I'm pretty sure, this to myself, unless another photographer comes along. Which is really, really nice. So I've been doing a lot of freehand shots with the long lens. I'll show some of those now. And I'll probably start playing with my wide angle, but right now I'm quite happy with what I'm getting with the long lens. So anyways, it's 3:40 right now, so a good hour plus before sunset. So a lot of things will change as the light shifts and the shadows shift, but I'm very happy today. So I was worried about the possibility that my shoot tonight at the Mesquite Dunes would not turn out. Now, obviously, the proof's in the pudding until I get home and really look at the images. But compared to the first day first full day, so day 2 in the morning, when I came out here for sunrise, the light wasn't very good. Now, normally, good light for a photographer, sorry, I'll try to block this on there. Normally, good light for a photographer, we like to have some high clouds and, good soft golden light. Now, unfortunately, and you can shoot in overcast conditions, but when you're really looking for a contrast in the light and the dark here, you need sunshine, the sun for that. And on day 2, it was mainly overcast in the morning, so really that did not work out too well. So quite happy with how things are turning out. I'm gonna keep shooting here. Plenty of opportunity here. Like I said, extremely happy, so let's keep going. I feel like I'm in the middle of nowhere. Can't hear a soul, can't see a soul yet. This hotel just over there. I'm just sitting here in the Mesquite Sand Dunes in Death Valley National Park. Extremely peaceful. Thankfully, it's not too hot. It's warm, don't get me wrong. And it's about an hour until sunset. I've been admittedly following some other footprints here. And the real reason why I did that is I'm trying to disturb, to the least extent possible, the sand dunes. So since there are already footsteps, I thought I'd follow them. Now, the interesting thing I've noticed, so far he has not looped back. So I think he started in the same vicinity that I did. But I don't know whether he exited at the parking lot or he actually loops around the entire thing and back out. Doesn't matter. I'm probably going to retrace my footsteps, but we'll figure that out. So, like I said, it's been an hour before the sun set. I've been using my long lens, my Sigma 7200, exclusively up until this point. And that's worked out rather well. I've liked the compression I've been getting, the images I've been able to capture with the shadow and the light. Although I'm pretty soon going to switch to my wide angle, which is the Canon 17-40. But when I do that, I'm pretty much going to be locked in on my tripod at that point. So I'm hesitating doing that because I don't want to quite bunker down and say this is my spot or my area until a little bit later. So right now I'm just taking a short little break, gonna have some more water, and then we'll look around and see what else I can photograph. Okay, so it's 4:40 and the sun has just set. Now the sun is actually supposed to set at basically 5 o'clock, so another 20 minutes. But one thing I forgot, it's the terrain. So the sun is setting over there and it's now behind the mountain. So unfortunately, basically this all went flat. Took a couple other test images, nothing overly spectacular. Now, in the far background, you can see the fact that some of the landscape is lighting up awfully nice. So I am going to hang out here. Probably going to switch back over to my long lens. I've had much more success with that today. Funny enough, first day here, I was like, I need my wide angle, Today I'm like, zoom, baby, zoom. Give me my zoom. So we'll see how things go. I'm going to hang out here. I'm in no rush. Obviously I'm a bit peckish, but that can wait. Not too far away. Well, geographically not too far away. I have to go back to my car, check back into the hotel, and then dinner. But overall, good day. It's like I say, I'm going to hang here, going to switch lenses and see if any new light materializes as things bounce around. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. There are more coming, including more from my Death Valley series. So please be sure to subscribe, hit the little notification button, and until next time, thank you very much.